All right, these problems right here require the use of a half-angle formula, so I want to make sure you guys know the half-angle formula and can properly use it. Now, one thing you could do is you just skip ahead on this video like a couple of minutes and skip my explanation on how to get the half-angle formula, because right now I'm going to show you guys how to get it. Then I will show you how to use it. So here is, do you guys know the angle sum theorem?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? Okay. I know that this one right here, this is the cosine one, so I'm going to start with cosine. Let's do, what's the cosine angle sum theorem? It says something like cosine of 2 alpha, which is the same as cosine of alpha plus alpha. Right. Okay, and so this we know to be cosine alpha times cosine alpha minus sine alpha times sine alpha. And we can simplify that. We can say cosine squared alpha minus sine squared alpha. Because they have the same angles, we can simplify it like that. So this equals this. But because those are squared, we can do more things with them. We can take out this right here and plug in the Pythagorean identity. And when we plug in the Pythagorean identity, we're going to get 2 cosine squared alpha plus 1. And if we plug in the Pythagorean identity for this one, we would get 1 minus 2 sine squared alpha. So this equals each of those. It can equal any of those. And so this is kind of neat. Let's use this one right here to get our half-angle formula for this guy. And so what we can do here is we can take what we have. Let's see, it's cosine, 2 alpha equals 2 cosine squared alpha plus 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this cosine alpha alone. And to do that, I'm going to have to subtract 1, then divide by 2. So on the left side, we would have cosine squared alpha minus 1, because we would have to subtract 1. And then we would divide by 2. And so this would equal 2 cosine, no, not 2. 2 is gone now. We would just have, what is that little thing right there? Got to get rid of him. Got it. Okay. So we have cosine squared alpha. Okay, so to get rid of that squared, we would square root both sides, and this would be gone, and this would be plus or minus. Okay, so we have cosine alpha equals that. Well, we could do something kind of neat. We can say alpha, we could take out that alpha, and we can make him equal something like theta divided by 2, or u divided by 2. It doesn't matter. We can just take out that angle and plug in a different angle that is divisible by 2, and this is what it would look like. We would have cosine, this would be alpha divided by 2, because we just take out the theta. We take out the alpha, we plug in that, and so that's what that we get on that side. And on this side right here, when we plug in theta divided by 2 to this alpha, it's going to be multiplied by 2. So what would you be left with? That's right! Just cosine alpha, or theta. Is that plus 1 or minus 1? All right, I just realized I made a mistake, but that's okay. Let's finish this. This would say minus 1 divided by 2, and then the square root, plus or minus. Okay, so that actually shouldn't say minus 1, because up here this should say negative. Okay, so if that says negative, this would say negative right here, and then this would be a plus in there. So sorry about that. But anyways, this equals this. What does that mean? It means this. If you had something like this, you have cosine 30 degrees. That is the same as plus or minus the square root of cosine of 60 degrees plus 1 divided by 2. See, this is half of this. So if you guys had something like this whole guy right here, what's another way we can write him?
Half plus cosine 5x.
That's it. But because that has a negative right there, we have to do the negative of this. Negative of the absolute value of this. That's just guarantees that it's negative. But the point is just knowing the half-angle formula and being able to use it. We could do the same thing with this guy over here. This is the tangent one. To find the tangent half angle formula, we have to find not only the cosine formula, but we're going to have to find the sine formula, divide them to get the tangent half angle formula. So it's best just to memorize it. It's a really short one. Look at it. There's a lot of tangent ones. Tangent could equal 3 different ones. So what's another way we can write this guy? Tangent, what? Is it 3x or is it 12x?
3.
You're right, 3x. So tangent 3x equals that.
This one's actually